Most people think they know famous faces, but take away the fame, the styling, the context. And suddenly, they're just kids. Some of these are children. One of them is a baby. 20 faces, 5 seconds each. Let's find out how sharp you really are. Question 1. This boy would grow up to completely change how we understand space, time, and reality. Who is it? A. Albert Einstein. B. Isaac Newton. C. Nikola Tesla. D. Stephen Hawking. Albert Einstein. He developed the theory of relativity and became one of the greatest scientists in history. Question 2. This child would later become a U.S. president and resign in disgrace. A. Gerald Ford. B. Richard Nixon. C. Jimmy Carter. D. Ronald Reagan. Richard Nixon. President from 1969 to 1974, he resigned after the Watergate scandal. Question 3. This young boy would one day lead Britain during World War II. A. Charles de Gaulle. B. Neville Chamberlain. C. Winston Churchill. D. King George VI. Winston Churchill. Prime Minister during World War II, known for his powerful speeches. Question 4. This young woman became one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood history. A. Marilyn Monroe. B. Audrey Hepburn. C. Elizabeth Taylor. D. Grace Kelly. Marilyn Monroe, a global icon of film and culture. Question 5. This boy would grow up to redefine acting in Hollywood. A. James Dean. B. Marlon Brando. C. Robert De Niro. D. Al Pacino. Marlon Brando, famous for The Godfather and his revolutionary acting style. If you've got more than 5 right already, you're paying attention. But most people collapse after this point. If you enjoy quizzes like this, hit subscribe now. The next ones get even harder. Question 6. This young boy would later lead a nonviolent movement that changed an entire nation. A. Nelson Mandela. B. Jawaharlal Nehru. C. Dalai Lama. D. Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi. He led India's independence movement through nonviolent resistance. Question 7. This young artist became a global symbol of identity, pain, and resilience. A. Frida Kahlo. B. Diego Rivera. C. Pablo Picasso. D. Salvador Dali. Frida Kahlo, known for her powerful self-portraits and unique artistic style. Question 8. This boy would grow up to become one of the greatest inventors of all time. A. Nikola Tesla. B. Alexander Graham Bell. C. Thomas Edison. D. James Watt. Thomas Edison. He held over 1,000 patents, including the electric light bulb. Question 9. This child would later become President of the United States in the early 2000s. A. George W. Bush. B. Barack Obama. C. Bill Clinton. D. Ronald Reagan. George W. Bush, President from 2001 to 2009. Question 10. This boy became a U.S. president known for charisma and political skill. A. Jimmy Carter. B. George H.W. Bush. C. John F. Kennedy. D. Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton. President from 1993 to 2001. Question 11. This boy with his dog would later become a Nobel Prize-winning former U.S. president. A. Ronald Reagan. B. Jimmy Carter. C. Richard Nixon. D. Harry Truman. Jimmy Carter, president from 1977 to 1981. Question 12. This child actress became famous very early in Hollywood. A. Natalie Portman. B. Emma Watson. C. Drew Barrymore. D. Jodie Foster. Drew Barrymore. She became famous as a child star in E.T. Question 13. This girl would grow into one of the most respected actresses of her generation. A. Scarlett Johansson. B. Meryl Streep. C. Kate Blanchett. D. Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster, an Academy Award-winning actress who started as a child star. Question 14. This young boy would later become one of the most famous U.S. presidents of all time. A. Abraham Lincoln. B. John F. Kennedy. C. Dwight Eisenhower. D. Franklin D. Roosevelt. John F. Kennedy, president from 1961 to 1963. Question 15. This child would later take over the presidency during one of the most turbulent periods in U.S. history. A. Lyndon B. Johnson. B. Richard Nixon. C. Gerald Ford. D. Jimmy Carter. Lyndon B. Johnson. He became president after Kennedy's assassination and passed major civil rights laws. Question 16. This young girl would later become one of the most iconic first ladies in U.S. history. A. Eleanor Roosevelt. B. Michelle Obama. C. Jackie Kennedy. D. Nancy Reagan. Jackie Kennedy, First Lady from 1961 to 1963. Question 17. This boy became a revolutionary figure known around the world. A. Fidel Castro. B. Hugo Chavez. C. Simon Bolivar. D. Che Guevara. Che Guevara, a key figure in the Cuban Revolution. Question 18. This child became the last leader of the Soviet Union. A. Boris Yeltsin. B. Leonid Brezhnev. C. Vladimir Putin. D. Mikhail Gorbachev. Mikhail Gorbachev. He introduced reforms that helped end the Cold War. Question 19. This is the only baby in the quiz. He became a legendary Hollywood actor. A. Clark Gable. B. Cary Grant. C. Gregory Peck. D. Humphrey Bogart. Humphrey Bogart, star of Casablanca and one of cinema's greatest icons. Question 20. This child would grow up to become one of the most energetic U.S. presidents ever. A. Theodore Roosevelt. B. Abraham Lincoln. C. Woodrow Wilson. D. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt, president from 1901 to 1909. How many did you get right? Drop your score in the comments. And here's the bonus. Every 2 months, one commenter wins a $50 Amazon voucher. All you have to do is comment your score. And if you actually recognize the baby, you might be dangerous. Subscribe for more quizzes that challenge what you think you know.